We did it. We're live.
We did it.
Why do you gotta always be so goddamn weird when we start? He for anybody that doesn't watch backstage, because you guys don't have access to it, he's just sitting there and he's just hanging out. We're having normal conversations, and then it's like live, and he's just like rage out. I don't know what it is, but he's got it out of his system.
I feel good now.
Okay, feels good. It's been a little toasty here, so if you guys hear a very loud air conditioner,
suck it.
It's in the studio. We need this. When I came in the studio, it was 97 degrees, and it's down to about 81. Down to 81. So hopefully you guys are good. I know I chatted with you, and I chatted with you today, but I haven't chatted with all the viewers. So hopefully you guys are good. If not, then figure that shit out. Today, we're going to do worst states in the U.S. I felt like I had to put USA because I would probably just put worst states, and the viewers maybe might be like, well, there's states in this country. Maybe not our viewers.
Labrador is terrible.
Yeah. So we're going to do the worst.
That's a provenance.
Yeah, right? Yeah,
Also,
Canada.
Fuck Quebec.
Yeah, Quebec's like the worst. And we're gonna do things a little bit differently. And for anybody that's only here to see Toby, he's not here today. He might be in chat. So he might be in chat. So don't say anything inappropriate, chat, because he still will fuck you up. But we're gonna try to continue to evolve the show, make it fun not only for us but for you. And we've been doing the draft, we've been doing the bracket, we've been doing the same topic for 2 weeks, and it's been fun. And I love doing it. But last week, 3 people downloaded the bracket, and I'm like, to me, that's a sign nobody really gives a shit. So let's try something new. We've been chatting, us and all the boys, and you know what? We said, hey, we're gonna try to do something. We're gonna try to come in. Yeah, there's only 4. I told you that earlier.
You have the link, Turb.
I mean, yeah. Look at this. All right, so what we're gonna do is we are going to come up with the worst state, but as kind of like a group. What we're going to do is we're going to nominate a couple of states. There's 4 of us. If Toby jumps in, that's 5. That'll be easy math. We each do 2. If not, the 4 of us will each nominate 2 states. They're going to go on just a kind of a random thing that looks something like this. We're going to put 10 worst states, and then we're going to rank them from 10 all the way to 1. Be suspenseful. So you guys can see what our number 1 worst state is. Could go really well, could be a fucking disaster, but we will try to still include you guys with polls and all that stuff. I do have the YouTube opened, and fellas, I'd love to hear your thoughts because I've been rambling on for 3 minutes.
Well, I'm kind of glad Toby's not here. No offense, Toby, I love you, but I know one of your states, and it'll highly offend me as it's my birth state.
He did go off on Tuesday's show about it.
Yeah, and it's the most American state left in this country. Thank you very much. So I'm kind of glad he's not here because I'll be really upset if that state's in there. Oh,
Roll Tide.
That's my birth. No, not Bama.
It's New Hampshire, so thank you.
Yes. Yep. Live free or die trying.
Does this accent sound New Hampshirean?
Plus, like I said, Richie and myself were having a conversation. Brandon, Zach, we've all had conversations, and Richie had a good point. He said, you know what? If there's 5 of us, we all draft 5, that's half the states. And then when we put the brackets in there, and then if people are like, well, they drafted this one and this one, but I hate it, was just going to be a little bit of a shit show. So we said, hey, let's just have more of a free-flowing, creative show. We're going to talk shit about a whole bunch of states. We're actually going to work together instead of kind of fucking with each other. And it kind of eliminates the fact, so if Toby's not on tonight, Toby can come back next week. We have a whole new topic and a little bit of a twist. I don't know if we're really going to do this yet, but when Brandon and myself chatted, we said, you know what would be really fun? We come into the studio, the viewers submit a whole bunch of shit for a topic. We put it on a wheel, we spin it, and then we draft the top 10 things randomly, no prep work, on our toes, and we just draft whatever you, the viewer, still decide. But we put our twist on it, and I thought that was a great idea for us to be fun, creative, and
change it up a little bit, make it interesting.
Change it up a little bit. And at some point, we can always go back to the draft and bracket, and we can do it all in one. We got so many ideas. It's going to be a lot of fun. And
it may be like there's a time, place, or subject for that. Like if it's a wide subject that could cover a lot of things, the bracket can play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's gonna be fun. I don't know. I'm excited about it. Terrell Davis, he's excited about it. John Elway's excited about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think of way more cool Denver Bronco players. Shannon Sharp, was he a Bronco?
Yeah, Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp. He's done with
Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow. Peyton was there for a little bit.
Jake Plummer.
Oh, Jake the
Jay
Snake.
Cutler.
Fuck, how come we can only think
Von
of quarterbacks? There we
Von
go.
Miller. TJ Ward.
Now we're getting
Strong
deep.
safety. Number 43.
Somebody in our office allegedly pulled like a $3,000 Sean Taylor card today in a live draw. Did you guys realize that these the card live draw things are that big of a deal, even to people that aren't on social media? Fuck, I don't know what state they're in when they're doing these, but see what I did there? All right, let's do the thing. Worst states, ladies and gentlemen.
Are we offending people? Sweet, I'm here. I'm down for it.
Damn it,
Toby,
Give me my
a green
first
screen of
fucking
your home
state. I want to
office?
see Richie get all crybaby.
Oh, he was like, I'm hoping he's not here.
You
What are
want to do
chewing
that
on?
jiu-jitsu challenge?
Sure.
Oh,
We doing some jujitsu?
What you eating, Toby?
I am
oatmeal.
Pudding.
Ben and Jerry's Dublin mudslide.
Quaker oats.
Yeah.
Or fucking
All right.
porridge, as Mr.
So I'm sure you
McDermott
were
would say.
listening and you heard what we had going on. We're gonna kind of work together, but still fuck with each other. We're gonna come up with the 10 best states from 10 to 9, but we're all now even math gonna nominate 2 in some random order of the worst states, and then we work together. And this could be fun because I guarantee you we are not going to agree on 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1. So this could be interesting.
I will be here as long as my computer allows me to be, because I've got just kind of jury rig hooked up because I started already packing everything up.
Poor Jerry.
Oh, you're traveling today, filming this weekend.
I'm traveling tomorrow, first thing tomorrow morning.
Oh. See, I was really impressed because I thought you somehow saved your exact background, like of your office, as a background image just for continuity purposes.
I heard you say that. I thought you were kidding, but then I was like, wow, he's
No, I was being
Yeah?
completely serious because when we talked earlier, I was fully under the assumption that Toby was on set today. I even
No,
when
no,
we
no.
talked to Toby, I even played the Support Toby's movie banner thinking he was out on set today.
Yeah, on set tomorrow. Was studying lines and getting everything ready tonight.
knew some people back in the day that they studied a lot of lines.
Yeah.
See what I did there? All right, let's do the thing. Should we do the random name generator? No, I'll just put people random. It doesn't really matter. We'll just randomly put. Oh yeah, producer Jace is traveling, so I'm gonna have to do some clipping. And sorry about all that, guys. You're gonna get stuck with me doing some clips again. So all right. I'm just going to put somebody random on screen. We're going to nominate. Zach is going to update. What we're going to do is we're going to put the 10 states onto this. And then eventually we will then put them onto, we will count them down 10 to 9. Something like this. We'll count them down. And like I said, we'll find a cool way to interact with the viewers at some point and do a thing. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
Yep.
All right. So one of the top 10 worst states. Brandon, you get to kick it off.
I would like to submit the nice fine state of Mississippi.
Ooh, that's a solid choice for top 5 worst state or top 10. We're in the top 10. So Mississippi, although fun to say, fun to spell, probably not a great time to be there. I've never been to Mississippi. Has anybody else been?
I've been to Mississippi.
Driven through it, have not dared to stay in it.
I've gambled in it.
I have to abstain from crapping on Mississippi. Mississippi's paying my mortgage right now, actually. So
Oh, well, as long as the people aren't working for it. So, all right, Mississippi
support the troops.
on the board. And next person to nominate a state is that guy.
Ooh. I could go for the low-hanging fruit, but I won't. And I'm going to say Ohio.
Oh, that one.
I mean, that's easily on the list.
I mean, if we're gonna be honest, Ohio's still pretty low hanging fruit.
Ohio's pretty fucking terrible.
Ohio is pretty goddamn terrible.
I got pink eye
It's
from a
only
hotel in Ohio.
Ohio's only saving grace is Canton.
Yeah. Which, for people that don't know, it is the Football Hall of Fame.
I don't know. I can name one other Canton that I like better than anything in Ohio.
How many cantons are there in the goddamn world? I feel
Quite
like
a few.
there's
Georgia.
Ohio, New York, Georgia for sure.
I used
It's
to
like
live there.
Springfield or Elm Street.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of Elm Streets out there too.
Mm-hmm.
Or Peachtree.
Or you could be like the town that I'm from, where all the streets going one way are presidents, then all the streets going the other way are trees.
That is true. And they all really have some shitty people that live in. Oh, there's a canton in North Carolina.
Yep.
Well,
Ever?
that says.
Oh, there. Okay. All right. Never mind.
Okay. All right. Let's you know what? I'm going to give you the opportunity to go first.
Connecticut.
Oh, one of the tougher states.
There's
to spell, I think.
nothing there. It's a highway.
I mean,
Yeah.
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 Fair enough, bro.
And let's be honest. I mean, if there are any sports fans, nobody likes the Huskies. You either like them or you fucking hate them because it's that.
Well, everybody liked him for that one season where that kid died.
I
See,
remember that.
don't even remember. Exactly. Moving forward, as Toby would say.
All right. Speaking
Next
of Toby,
video.
Oh no.
Lick the ice cream
Here
off
it
your knuckle.
comes.
Come on, let's go.
Oregon.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh.
That's a solid one.
that is
That's a solid
pretty
one.
solid.
Way, you know what? I think we all know why.
Portland.
Yeah.
That's
Portland.
why.
Oh,
I
see,
mean, don't get me
would go-
wrong. Pretty country, but that don't make up for the fucking people.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So this is the list so far. We have Mississippi, Ohio, Connecticut, Oregon. I am up for number 5. I'm going California.
Mm.
I'm
Mhm.
going California for obvious reasons.
Again,
Beautiful
pretty.
state.
Mhm.
Shitty place.
It's
Yeah.
pretty. It's got a lot, like the mountain ranges and stuff are nice, but the fucking people. Can we,
Also,
can
guys,
we just
remember, this
say
is not a
West
political
Coast
show.
as a fucking state? Can we use West Coast as a state?
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean-
exclude Washington, Oregon, California.
which is funny because we are definitely. I was talking to somebody earlier. I was like, "Fuck the time zones. Fuck the West Coast. Everybody knows East Coast is better." And then it was this whole like East Coast, West Coast. I'm like, the rappers were better. The sports teams are better. I mean, look at college basketball. Nobody left of west of like the middle of Texas has won the NCAA basketball since Arizona did. And when like the 90s, the West Coast just sucks. Baseball teams suck. All right. So we have Mississippi. We have Ohio. We have Connecticut, we have Oregon, we have California, and I say we do this kind of like a baseball draft. We're not going to snake it. We're going to go back to Brandon for number 6.
You want to talk about the same state, no matter where you're driving in it? Indiana.
Oh God. Yeah.
I've only ever been to South Bend.
I mean, unless you've ever driven through Nebraska, because Nebraska is not much better.
Now, if you've driven I-80, you're right. You're right. But there's so much more to Nebraska than I-80. As somebody who's lived and been all over the state, lived there for 30 years.
Yeah, that's you've had enough. And I was curious how many people were going to throw up a state that they've lived in, that they've been a part of, and I'm curious how this works out. So, all right, so we have Mississippi, Ohio, Connecticut, Oregon, California, Indiana. We're going for number 7, lucky 7. Which this guy, I mean, he screams lucky.
Yeah. I'm going with New York.
There it
New
is.
York State, huh?
It's fucking terrible. It's
That's
expensive.
fucking terrible.
It's
I mean-
expensive. It's confusing.
I mean, I'm going to throw this out there. If New York City was its own thing, New York would be a hell of a lot better.
I agree.
I mean,
I think we should chop just north of New York City, like go at Rockland County, and then put a fucking wall up. Sorry, I didn't mean to peep up there. Weird. And then put an impenetrable wall through Long Island Sound, and then wrap it all the way around till it connects in Long Island Sound again, and then never let those people out.
I feel
You
like
just
can't-
you just border it. You just border it and make it its own thing, like District of Columbia.
Why don't
Yeah.
we just give Long Island to Cuba? It can be like Cuba North.
North-
no,
New
I'm staying away
Cuba.
from the racist
Yeah,
talk.
Nueva Cuba.
I want to explain something to you guys.
Yes.
As a radio programmer and somebody who trains people on the radio, I get this feeling in my gut when people say things when it's live on the air, where it's like, they shouldn't have said that. Zach gives me that feeling quite often when we're on the show. With love, he does sometimes when he says stuff.
I'm sure Brandon saw my face as soon as he let that leave his lips. I was like, nope.
What, the Cuba comment?
Nope.
No, but we're gonna move past it. You have to remember. You have to remember that just because it's not the Producer Zac channel, we still can get canceled, and the show could go away very quickly. So maybe we just think about that. And if anything, talk about the Cuban sandwich. I had a Cuban sandwich the other day. It was fantastic. I love that kind of sandwich. That's what we were talking about. Sandwiches. All right. Forget the order, but I think it was Richie.
New Jersey.
Oh, fuck yeah.
God, boy, Richie fucking hates the New England states,
He does. We're covering a lot of.
I once did a TikTok while saying Joyzy, and a whole bunch of people got so mad at me. We don't sound like that.
Fuck them. Yes, you do.
Well, then they should have not put those people that were in Jersey Shore. I mean, that
I can't tell the difference between Jersey and Boston, to be honest with you. They both can't pronounce ours.
Well, it's like people in New York City will get upset when you're like, "Hey, I'm walking in," and they're like, "We don't fucking say that, and we don't sound like that." And I'm like, "Hey, you're doing it right now. You're doing it right now."
Just minus the mob sounding accent.
Yeah.
I didn't want to put a specific group of people to that. So mob sounding.
Yeah. No, I mean, accent. I get it. Nobody and it's funny because everybody's like, New York City, yeah, it's so beautiful. Like when we're like, hey, we're from New York, and they're like, oh, the city I've always wanted to go. And it's like, cool. Have you not seen all the subway videos? Have you not seen like the rats?
Pizza rat.
It just feels dirty just looking at photos of New York.
It's fucking gross. And then you go to Ottawa, which is the nation's capital of Canada, and it's one of the cleanest cities I've ever been to.
Ottawa's gorgeous.
Fucking so much syrup too. All right, speaking of syrup, I don't know. I just went with Toby. I have no segue for that.
Fucking Texas.
You motherfucker.
There it
Fuck
is.
Texas.
Fuck you. Texas is my home state.
Texas is my home state.
Texas has
just hate it because of Fort Hood.
Texas has the worst people in the entire United States. I said what the fuck I said.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
Is that how you really feel about me?
You're not there, are you?
I like you, Richie.
No, that's not true. I live in Tennessee. But do you know they're changing the name of Fort Hood?
Yeah.
Oh, is it because it was one of the
He's a Confederate general.
racial day
Probably
generals or whatever? Like
I don't care why. I don't think it's gonna help.
Yeah. They're changing the name of Fort Bragg, North Carolina too.
It's coming soon because I see that that Fort Hood is looking for subcontractors to come in and bid all new signs for the post.
Yep.
Everybody live in Clean, Texas or Temple.
Killeen is terrible.
Oh, that's where I was born.
Is it really?
Yeah.
My grandpa's lives right outside of Killeen.
My dad was stationed at Fort Hood, is why.
I will say this: I have never been to the northeast, the northwestern side of Texas, which I heard is really nice.
That's Texas.
Which I've heard is really
Texas.
nice. I'd like to be there, but I have visited just about 75% of the rest of the Texas, and it's all the same.
Dallas,
all
Austin,
the same fucking
Houston,
people.
San Antonio.
Yeah.
San Antonio's nice though.
I love San Antonio. I love San Antonio.
Beautiful.
Love Austin.
Amarillo.
Don't mind Corpus
Amaretto.
Christi.
You
Isn't
remember,
Austin-
Richie? My very first TikTok meetup I went to was in San Antonio.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Did you enjoy it there?
Did not at all.
Really?
No.
My
Dude, the
flip-flops
people are so
open.
nice there. They help you. Like they
What?
literally have
They're what?
employees. They
They're
literally
nice?
have employees that will walk the street and help you find places. They were nice
As
to me,
long as-
but
as
maybe
long
it's
as
because
you
of
don't
this
sound like me.
accent. Yeah, maybe it's because I have this accent.
Isn't
They're just
Austin
like,
like an upcoming techie hipster
Yeah.
town now or
Au-
city?
that's where
Austin votes blue.
that's where Tesla's going. That's where Joe
Austin
Rogan.
has got some of the
Has a
most
Yeah, Joe
pretentious
Rogan
pricks
would
I've ever met in my life.
But
Who does?
Austin is also one of the bluest state counties or cities out of all of Texas, which is interesting. But it's because you got a draw of unique people. But Austin's motto is keep Austin weird.
Mm-hmm. You get off the plane in
literally
Austin,
their
you
motto.
see a big horse dick. Unless they move that statue. That was
I don't know.
As soon as you got off the gate, we always flew Delta to Texas. As soon as you walk out of the Delta concourse, there's a massive horse statue rearing and looking at you. And it's
you talking about
dick.
in Austin Airport? Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever been to the Dallas airport?
Sorry, I came
When
in
I was
without my
young, we flew into Dallas when I was way young. I don't really remember it.
That's a interesting airport. I don't
Dallas
like
is
Dallas.
kind of weird.
Dallas is not fun.
Is Dallas the one with the haze over top of it? Like when you're driving into Dallas?
No, that's Houston.
That's Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Do you know the capital of Texas?
True.
Do you know the capital of Texas?
Is it Houston? For Sam Houston?
Nope.
No. Is this a joke?
No, I'm dead serious.
Oh, I don't know what it is then.
Most
Love
people
it.
think it's Dallas. It's Austin. Austin
Okay.
is the capital.
Oh, is it really?
of Texas.
I am not good at geography.
I think it should be LaGrange.
It's Central East Texas.
I couldn't tell you probably. What do we have? We have Mississippi, Ohio, Connecticut, Oregon, California, India. I probably could name 20% of the capitals of these states.
I couldn't name capitals. I wasn't that dork in high school that was like, excuse me, miss, I know all 50
I'm kind of
capitals in
obligated to
alphabetical
know
order.
that, though.
I'll answer this question real quick. Lillette, I'm sorry if you missed the Tuesday show. That's when we showed the house giraffes, because we didn't think that I'd be able to make it to this one tonight.
Mm-hmm. It's true. That's true. And I heard they got shots today, so they're pretty sleepy.
They did. So we got official weights. So Maeve is 55 pounds and Willow is 50 pounds.
Wow.
Which is weird because Willow looks larger. So apparently the vet was just like, no, this one is just solid muscle. So this one's just a little bit more fluff.
Wow. That's 110 pounds of, what are they, 4-month-old puppies?
Not even yet.
One of your dogs is not the net weight of my 2 children.
Yeah.
Is not the net weight?
Correct. Yeah, your one dog weighs more than both of my children combined.
Oh.
My 6-year-old's only like 40-something pounds.
And Angel lets both of them just lay on top of her every morning when I can't. Like,
a weighted blanket's way cheaper.
They don't need as much. All right. I'm going to go number 10. It can't be top 10 worst states. I have to do it. It's Florida.
I think we're all just dancing around it.
Yeah. We had to put it on there. I mean, for obvious reasons.
It's got to be on there.
It's got the makings of a worst state.
Here we go. Top 10 worst states brought to you by Beard Laws and the Boys. Mississippi, Ohio, Connecticut, Oregon, California, Indiana, New York, New Jersey, Texas, and Florida. Those are, in our opinion, the 10 worst.
I will say this. The states that I tend to dislike the most usually has nothing to do with like the areas within those states. It mainly almost always has to do with the people. The way that you're treated, the way that you see that they treat themselves, the way that you see, just the way that they act in public. And it's just, there's some states like I hate
the way they
Louisiana.
come to another state and treat you in your state.
Yeah.
And you're like,
oh yeah.
All right.
I cannot. Louisiana has got to be the worst state I've ever lived in as far as environment goes. Like, it's the worst. There's no doubt. I went to Haiti, and it was still nicer than Louisiana, and that was after a fucking 9.0 earthquake hit it, and millions of people were literally laying under rubble, dead in the middle of the street. Still nicer than Louisiana, but the people in Louisiana were really nice. Really good people there.
Good people. Brandon, was that one of those moments?
That was just good. That was just good.
I didn't know. It was the same like head back laugh. So Brandon, what do you think of these top 10? What are you thinking of them?
Let's see it again. I feel pretty solid about our top 10. I mean, could we talk about states that aren't on the list potentially?
Yeah.
I just want to
did
say
throw a
it seems
poll.
the Northeast
Got shit on.
They
We did have a little bit of West Coast, a little bit of them. We had a little bit of both.
Yeah.
little bit, of
So,
everything.
here's a question. Let me ask you guys this. So we've been picking the obvious 10 worst states, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
What would be your sleeper pick for worst state?
Delaware.
Pennsylvania.
Alaska.
Richie and I had the same exact state.
What was
I'll
it?
tell you why. So this is
Delaware.
why I select. What about you, Brandon? Before I say my reasoning here.
About Delaware?
No, about your sleeper state for worst. Like one that you wouldn't think anybody would be like, oh, really?
That somebody would agree with me or wouldn't agree with me?
Well, they just wouldn't see. It's a sleeper pick. It's one that
Yeah.
you wouldn't see coming. You wouldn't think that somebody would.
I know what a
pick.
sleeper is. So what's my sleeper pick here?
Yeah.
On the list or off the list?
Off.
Yeah, off the list. That's not on the list.
I think this. You talked about the Northeast being picked on heavily here. I would say the South got it light. You brought up Louisiana. We could have brought up South Carolina. We could have brought up a myriad of other states, Alabama, Tennessee. So we could have brought up a bunch of states down there that didn't.
Kentucky's pretty busted from what I've heard.
So
West Virginia.
Arkansas. I mean,
Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas. I'm surprised that didn't make the list.
So I'm going to explain why Delaware to me.
Okay.
It's one of the only states I've never been to. However, it's 3 times the size of Rhode Island, but has less than half the population.
that says something.
And it has the smallest population of all the states in the United States. If it's so shitty that nobody wants to live there, I can only assume that's got to be a horrible fucking place.
Yeah.
Or
they
there's
have a
literally
protein?
got to be nothing.
Do they
I
have a
don't think
protein
Delaware. No, not that I can
in
think of.
any sport? All right, enough said. Enough said.
Can I say something?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I've got a friend who will remain nameless, who some of you know, who's from Delaware but doesn't claim Delaware. They claim New York. And I think it's kind of like that a little bit, where if you're from, say the part of Connecticut where it's like Stamford, where you're near the border almost of New York City, where it's like, well, I might as well just claim New York City as where I'm from, even though you're not technically from there. What else identity you have other than you live in a place with lots of people that nobody really knows where you're at?
At least they don't have sales tax.
True.
That's a good thing for Delaware. I'm gonna
like-
throw out my sleeper pick real quick too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what's their income tax?
Oh, that I don't know. I'm gonna throw out Hawaii. And the reason I know it's beautiful, well, I've never been there, but it's got to be a pain in the dick. Like for people to come and see you, for stuff to get brought to Hawaii, like there's got to be a lot of shitty stuff that's over there. And I've heard from somebody that was on Triple T for a long time that they were stationed over there, and a lot of people that are from Hawaii, they don't overly love people that aren't from Hawaii.
They, for the most part, they can't stand
Yeah.
anybody that visits that island.
Yep. So I mean, I feel
And,
like they have,
and I understand, because they're first of all, the majority of people that go to Hawaii, they don't study any of the Hawaiian culture. They don't study anything about, what's socially acceptable over there and what isn't. They treat the island like their own fucking personal garbage dump. They're standard tourists, and they trash the place, and they don't respect the natives. And I completely understand why they're upset.
but that would be my sleeper. So all right, I think this is the time where we try to hash out from 10 to 1, because I feel like
Delaware has some breweries too.
Dude, and
Delaware also has an unnecessarily complicated income tax policy.
so what, Matt, you were talking about people talking about states that they have to say that, oh, it's they don't claim it because it's nobody really would know where it's at or whatever.
Yep.
That is anybody I've ever met from Arizona. I have yet to meet somebody from Arizona that hasn't told me they're from Phoenix. And you're like, where? And they're like, oh, well, it's like, 2 hours south of Phoenix. And you're like, how are you Phoenix? Because you wouldn't know where I lived. It doesn't matter. I didn't ask. Hey, tell me where you live that I would know.
it's true. So we did put up a poll for the viewers. Did we pick a solid 10? 85%, yeah. 14, 5%. They were like, nope. I'm going to put in there right now. Does Delaware suck?
So are we starting with number 1?
We're going to start with 10. We're going to pick the best of the worst and then work our way to the worst of the worst. And I feel like that's going to be a little more difficult because there's a lot out there. And I'll bring the list back up. If I press the button right, boom. So again, 10 worst states for anybody that might just be listening only: Mississippi, Ohio, Connecticut, Oregon, California, Indiana, New York, New Jersey, Texas, and Florida. Now we are going to pick the best of the worst 10. And we have to, how are we going to do this? Do we have to agree, or at least like 3 out of 5 of us?
I say majority vote.
I feel like we could come to an agreement at some point, maybe. I don't know. Somebody throw one out. Who do you think is the best of the worst states?
The best
Texas.
of the worst states that we picked. I would say Texas or Oregon.
Ooh,
Oregon?
Oh,
I like Oregon for reasons.
I figured it would be
aside
like
from the
Texas or
people.
Florida, but
No, Florida can suck balls.
okay.
Like, I like Oregon for fight game reasons, for wrestling reasons, for.
Toby's computer crapped out.
All right.
So unfortunately, that's it for me tonight. All right. So we got the 2 picks in. Thank you, Toby, for taking some time. Make sure you get packed up. Safe travels and all that good stuff. What do they say on set? Break a leg. Does that apply for movies?
I think that's stage talk. I think it's like the theater.
Oh, fuck. Well, whatever. But before we get in this, I just want to say real quick, because I was supposed to start off there. Shout out to the Deluxe Edition Network. We're on the network. Shout out to the podcast of the month. Forgot to kind of get through that. This week, it's a new month. Barrel Aged Chicks, podcast of the month, and the Deep Dark Secrets podcast. So if you want to see a bunch of chicks get drunk and talk about stuff, check out the Barrel Aged Chicks, Deep Dark Secrets. It's a true crime podcast. Check them out, the Deluxe Edition Network.com. All right. Thanks. I had to get that out of there. All right. So nominated, we had Texas as 10. And was there another one that was thrown out?
I said Texas or Oregon.
Texas or Oregon?
I've been told I was on an island on that one.
Okay.
My reasons for liking Oregon are niche. So
okay. Brandon, is there any that you would throw out? Let's all throw out our best worst.
I agree with Texas.
Okay. Texas. Richie, I feel like you agree with Texas.
Of course I do.
Okay. And Zach does. So that's 3 out of 4.
Yeah, I will probably retire to Texas. Like, I like Texas.
Okay.
I'd move back.
I wouldn't have said Texas was the best, but majority wins. So we are Texas.
Out of curiosity, who would you have said?
I would have probably. I was looking at it. I think I would have went. Jersey.
Really?
I don't love Jersey, but I honestly don't fucking hate it. Like, I don't think Jersey sucks. Like, I've had really good times in New Jersey.
It's a people experience thing. Everybody I've ever met from Jersey.
Great piers, great amusement parks, great casinos, good food. It's not New York City. You know what I mean? You can go to. I'm not a Giants or Jets fan, but you can go to Jersey and check out a cool football. Like, the stadium's cool.
Right. I'm sure they have great stuff. Yeah. I'm sure they do. But one, they have Jersey Shore.
If Jersey Shore didn't exist, would it be a potential 10?
No.
As worse.
Because it might, and it's an experience-based thing, because everybody I've ever met from Jersey that comes to Tennessee or the South, I've lived in Georgia as well, they're very rude and condescending. Like,
true.
They've always been, and I'm not saying all Jersey people are like this. The people I have met have been rude, condescending, and treat me because I am a Southerner, thinking we're just stupid or something. Just because we talk funny doesn't mean we're stupid.
That is true. And I guess the reason is more for me because I've spent a lot of time in New York City.
Yeah.
And anytime I've gone to Jersey compared to that is a lot of my comparison is why I would have went that. But so let me go over to this other one. Texas is off the board. And here we go. Number 10 is Texas, of the best of the worst. Now we're going to move on to number 9. All right, so Brandon, who would you throw up there? We'll throw up our number 9.
Let's look at the list again.
Absolutely. Let me get it over here. Let's bring it over. This is the list. Didn't show it. There we go.
So just throwing up 2. I would put. Oh goodness. I would say New Jersey and Indiana.
I was going to say Oregon and Indiana.
Okay, Richie.
I agree with Indiana. I mean, they do have the Mall of America, or what is it? Is it not Mall of America? What do they have there?
I think that's in Minnesota.
It is.
Yeah. What's the thing in Indiana? I've been there.
The mall in Indiana?
The Lucas Oil Stadium.
Indy 500.
No, I don't remember.
They have the South Lake Mall, the Fashion Mall, the Circle
Might
Center
not have been
Mall.
a mall. It might have been an amusement park or something.
Oh.
There was something cool about Indiana I enjoyed.
They have the Pat McAfee show.
Cedar Point.
They also have
Indiana?
a place called Santa Claus, and they have a theme park based upon Santa Claus.
Santa?
So, yeah.
Huh.
That sounds terrible. So we're going with Indiana.
According to Google, what are 3 things Indiana is famous for? They threw out 7 things. So I don't know what's up with that, but they are known for vast farmlands. That's exciting. Agriculture production.
Illinois?
Corn.
I might have the wrong state.
They have the Indy 500, steel mills, limestone, the University of Notre Dame, and high school basketball.
Hoosiers.
That seems all right. So I would have said Jersey, but I'm cool with Indiana being up there. So I think we're in agreement here. The 9th state, and just to throw it out there, we did do a poll. Is Texas a good number 10? Toby's probably not going to like this, but 70% of the viewers agree with us that Texas is the best of the worst 10. So there we go. All right, so we'll got Indiana as number 9, and we'll just ask viewers. You can feel free to chat if you want. Is Indiana a good 9? I think it's a good 9. I mean, especially if you're into corn. That one kid's super into corn.
Mm-hmm. It has the juice. He has his own TikTok gift.
Oh, interesting. All right, let's go. Richie, you up to nominate 8?
This is kind of hard. I would say Mississippi.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna throw Jersey back up there as an 8. Zach.
I'm gonna throw Oregon back up there as an 8.
Oh, this is where it's gonna get fun. Brandon.
Yep.
I like New Jersey at 8.
Okay. So things, I guess. So we're a little bit split. We got 2 there. All right. It's still gonna take one more, I guess. So we got Jersey, Oregon, and Mississippi. Mississippi's fun to spell, but I feel like that is isn't it like one of the worst crime, nastiest states?
Mississippi is awful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
But
okay,
like
I viewed the other states worse.
Yeah. And wasn't in Mississippi, weren't the ones that I got that Jace clipped me saying they need to put down your Bibles and put on a condom because they have the highest STD rate in the country?
That's a good callback.
Yeah.
I did say that.
You know what's so funny about Toby's comment is that's how forgettable Connecticut is that they didn't even get seen as being as a best of the worst.
Yep.
It's an interstate.
It is. Yep. Jersey. I mean, like I said, you've heard from me why I don't mind it as much.
Right.
I will soft support Jersey because my distaste for Jersey only comes from me being taken to Jersey against my will on a tour bus and Newark Airport. So,
okay, I can see that. I love Atlantic City.
I'm not a gambler.
True.
So
it's cool. I mean, and the reason I like it, it's been around since the 1800s. There's so much history.
That is cool. I'll give you that.
You know what I mean? There's like the comedian tours. There's like a lot of things run through Atlantic City, and it's pretty cool. I love the boardwalks and shit.
Yorktown Roadshow.
All right, so are we in a soft agreement? Jersey 8.
I already put it on there.
Okay, we're in a hard agreement.
I thought we were already there.
We passed the hard. So what we have here is Texas, the best of the worst. Then Indiana, then New Jersey, and even Toby in the chat does agree. Jersey. He either agrees with that or he's looking. Maybe he's Googling a jersey. He wants to buy a New Jersey. See what I did there? That's funny. All right, New Jersey, a solid 8. I think so. I think we did a thing. All right, this is Not that those were easy, but I feel like they weren't as difficult. So this is when shit's about to get real. Round of number 7 here. Let me pull up this back. Oh, this fucking pissed me off. I click it and I was gone. All right, so for anybody just listening, Mississippi, Ohio, Connecticut, Oregon, California, New York, and Florida. All right, I think I nominated Brandon. You want to throw one up there?
I'd say perfect time to put in Connecticut.
Ooh, okay. Yep, I'm going to agree with that. I think Connecticut could be a solid 7. Richie, Zach?
I have no ill will against Connecticut. I've driven through Connecticut before, but I'm pretty sure I took a shit in Connecticut. But it wasn't memorable. So
okay, that's a good thing.
I agree with what Brandon said. Along with that, it doesn't need to be in the middle either. Set it 6, 5. We're getting too close to the middle. I agree. I think it's not worthy of the middle.
I mean, all kidding aside, we threw out Connecticut, but they do have some really good colleges. If you're looking to go get smart, I think Yale's there. They have like Southern, Central, and all Eastern Connecticut. All those are pretty good schools, and UConn. So I guess if you're going to go and try to be smart, check it out. They got there's somebody famous that was there, like Mark Twain or some shit. I think was from Connecticut. Nobody fact checked me, but I think somebody famous that was an author is from Connecticut. So, all right. With that being said,
John Mayer, Nick Ryan, Michael Bolton, Paul Giamatti. You're probably thinking of Noah Webster from Merriam-Webster's dictionary fame. John Ratzenberger.
I was right. He died in Connecticut, so he's from there.
Stephanie McMahon. So I'm assuming all of the McMahons are from Connecticut, not just Stephanie.
Mark Twain had a hell of a mustache. He should have been on the best mustache thing.
Annie Leibovitz.
All right. So we got them at the 7. Connecticut, congratulations. Could have been a 7, could have been an 8. Anybody's from Connecticut there? Like I said, it's okay. UConn, 7. Congrats. If you're a 7 seed in the tourney, probably a little down here for you. All right. 6. This is good. I think Zach's going to go Oregon. So
I'm going to go Oregon, yeah.
Okay. What do you, Richie, Brandon?
I would say either Oregon or Mississippi.
Okay.
I think that's being way too easy on Mississippi. Unless Brandon has some inside knowledge on Mississippi. I will admit.
Portland's worse than all of Mississippi, right?
No, I disagree.
I don't know. We're talking
Portland's pretty shitty from what I've heard. So a guy that I know moved to Portland. He's from where I graduated school. Was out there working like a construction job, driving dump trucks, and he said there was one route that he had to go, and it was through a very well populated area on a road, and he said it looked like what he has seen on TV, like a war zone with just so many homeless. Fires. They would throw stuff. They would try to like take over the dump truck. Like he couldn't stop without probably being mugged and stuff. He said there's some okay places, but it's usually like, like museum area or the woods area. But he said it's very, very rough.
So let's weigh out some pros and cons about them. Pros, more or less, to kind of choose which is it. So Mississippi, where's those from?
Finlay hats are Oregon.
Okay, so in Mississippi, it's gambling is legal, so you have casinos.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon, Portland, Oregon, all drugs are legal. There are no drug laws. You can do whatever the hell you want there. Mm-hmm. If you see that as a pro. Mississippi has a river. I don't fucking.
Yeah, you're not really building a case for Mississippi here.
Do we look at? Okay, so we're just Portland is kind of the main bad part of Oregon, right?
Yeah.
But all of Mississippi, we're calling pretty
shitty. Yeah.
Shitty. So then, Mississippi.
Horrible access to any sort of to higher education beyond the compulsory stuff. Horrible access to healthcare. Horrible access to critical needs, like the literacy rate is in the toilet there. I mean,
Brandon, what are you thinking? Oregon, Mississippi?
And that's just from the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, I'm channeling my Logan.
I'll say this about Mississippi is being forgettable isn't being hateable. Now, listen, we also didn't talk about what makes the worst state. Is it terrible rates that politicians would bring up in talking about why the governor of Mississippi should never run for office higher than that in a stump speech, or are we talking about the fast food restaurant from Mississippi sucks because they can't make fried chicken or whatever the case
right.
may be. What is it? Because what are our parameters and our benchmarks? Yes. I'm curious. That's both rhetorical and not, but
yeah. I think a shitty state, in my opinion, is obviously one that you would. I mean, if would we want to live in Oregon over Mississippi? Yes. I mean, I know it's a little bit personal for just in this instance, but I mean, the pros and the cons, like with the
highest rate of STDs. Isn't that what y'all said?
Yep.
Literacy problems. Yeah, that's pretty bad when a whole state's recognized.
Yeah, would you want to raise a family in Mississippi?
No.
Would you want to raise a family in different
parts of Mississippi? I don't.
And for the record, when folks are talking about bad figures in the South of whether it's literacy rates or whatever, Mississippi's usually top on that list of it, whether it's obesity or literacy rates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. So
I know we were just talking about Mississippi and famous people. If you Google famous people from Mississippi, you are only 7 people on their list before you get to Ray J, who is only famous for having sex with Kim Kardashian on TV on camera.
But I don't think making a good state is having good celebrity. Well, no, in my brain, I'm
look
like,
at the people that it's producing. Is what I'm getting at.
I'm like, this celebrity live there. Yeah. I get you. I get what you're saying, I guess there. All right, so I think we're in agreement. Oregon is 6.
Yeah.
Oregon 6. Now we are at the middle of the road. People so far, majority have been agreeing with the amount of picks. I'm just waiting for the poll to be like what
were y'all thinking?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see what they have about Oregon, and we'll put this list back up. So we have Mississippi, Ohio, California, New York, and Florida.
Maple Bacon Bar.
All right. I'm gonna toss in New York.
I'll agree with that.
As a 5. Feel free to argue or nominate anything else, fellas.
New York, I think, is a frustrating place to live because, like what Matt said earlier, New York City and the urban centers are very much not like the majority of the state, and that creates a lot of very frustrating and unique socio-political confrontations amongst the people living in the state. It's a tough state to navigate. Not on the roads because it's actually pretty well laid out at the interstate level. Get off it and then you're in like fucking Rochester, and that's ridiculous. But
I would only say that of the 2 states, New York is much more hated, and
it's very polarized.
When you and to your point, listen, I cousin of mine had a story when he was in the military. He had a guy from New York who made fun of where he was from, Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha's got about 500,000 people. And he was like, where are you from? New York. Well, where at? Of course, you're from upstate New York. He's like, I've got bigger neighborhoods than the state town that you're in. So there's a big split between the New York City and living up in, Oswego or wherever.
True.
That said,
deep cut.
That is a deep cut. Yeah. Some lake effect snow. There you go.
We're north of the thruway. What?
I don't know what any of that means, but I'm going to smile and say
that. He's like, yeah.
But that said, when somebody hears New York, that's what they think of as the East Coast elitism. Is New York is the biggest city we've got as a country, right? But the metropolitan, 17 million people, something like that, something unbelievable,
something crazy.
So I get it. Why you would say New York 5 here? I would say not so fast, my friend. Let's go Mississippi. But that's one voice, one man.
Mm-hmm. Richie. So we're at 2 for New York, and we got a Mississippi in there.
You could force a game 7 right now. You could be Jason Tatum.
Jason who?
Yeah. And I mean, just not to try
Tatum?
to sway him, but like if we had to go like even just schools and other things other than whatever, New York, unfortunately, I mean, they have good shit. They have good schools. They,
So we're debating between New York and Mississippi.
But I would say we're not saying what's better. We're saying what's worse. So our argument is how great is this state, but how terrible is this state?
Right. I'm saying New York is better than
taxes
Mississippi in this one, so I think it should be a 5. You know, that's where I
understood.
Yeah.
You're talking higher taxes in New York, though. You're talking about less freedoms.
I want to say go out on a limb and say that the less freedoms thing depends
on what you define as. Yeah,
because realistically
it depends on what you define as it, though. Like if you're a hardcore Second Amendment person, you got less freedoms. That's kind of what I meant by that. Not that y'all are not as free as the rest of us.
I think New York's bigger too, and it's very different where we live than where, like you can, like kind of Brandon said.
And there's country in New York. I know I got a couple buddies that are up in New York, and they live in country. They're country boys.
Cows next door here, like right here.
So does Mississippi, but
yeah. What do you think of New York or Mississippi as the 5 spot?
Which one's better, New York or Mississippi? You could force a tie or push it over the edge.
I don't know. I have such bias here. Because I've been to Mississippi and I haven't been to New York. And what I know about New York, or what is personified by New York, is not a pretty picture.
Fair enough.
But they did get injured. So nobody's bombing or anything Mississippi. So I would say they're the better state.
Mississippi better?
No, New York.
Oh, New York. Okay. 3 to 1.
They survive all that and they keep strong and they keep going. I mean, 9/11, the bombings back in the 90s or whatever it was.
All right. So we got New York as 5, leaving us with just 4. We have Mississippi, Ohio, California, and Florida. Again, which one are the worst states? We're just working the backwards way. So, all right, I have a feeling Mississippi is going to get tossed in here. I'm going to throw Ohio versus Mississippi in this one. If nobody else has another one that they think should be the 4th.
I back Ohio as the 4th.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you hate Ohio?
Why do I hate Ohio?
Anybody, yeah.
I've had the handful of times I've had to be in or go through Ohio. That has been nothing but terrible experiences for me. Awful people, disgusting accommodations, bad roads. The only thing good I can say about Ohio is that when I went through it in the early 2000s on my way to South Bend, Indiana, I was very amused as a 13-year-old boy that every other billboard was for porn and fireworks, porn, fireworks, porn, fireworks, porn, fireworks, porn, fireworks.
So what's the bad thing about it?
I just didn't like the people and everything that I had to deal with there.
Okay.
No matter what age I've gone through.
I personally, I don't hate any. I don't hate Ohio. I don't. You know what I mean? I don't have anything bad to say. I hear like little things that are bad, and I mean Cleveland rocks. I've been told. I don't like that Cleveland keeps renaming their sports team something different. I get why they do it. I don't personally love it, but I think that's why I kind of threw Ohio out there. I think Ohio would be a better place, and they grow. A lot of people in Ohio grow great beards.
Okay,
so, something in the water. So I personally think Ohio is a better state of the worst states than Mississippi. Why do you hate Ohio, Brandon?
Oh, I don't. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Because my argument, and I could be wrong in my assumption and my looking at this, is that folks hate Ohio because they've either heard it from somebody because it's the nice, the cool, funny thing to do, or like Zach, they have got personal reasons that they've individually have experienced and have had terrible times there. But Mississippi, it's like I don't like them not because there's something to hate about them necessarily. It's just that they're really terrible at shit.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, if I was to pick top 10 worst states, I wouldn't honestly probably had Ohio, and I forgot it was there. I probably wouldn't have put Ohio in my top 10 personal. I kind of forgot they were there. I would have nominated them probably 9, 8, 9, 10.
I seldom agree with Jace but
because people,
they're the Nickelback of the USA. I'll definitely give them that.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll also say Cleveland and Cincinnati aren't that great of places.
I've heard Dayton is the place to be in Ohio.
I'm going to actually agree with Ohio on this, just because we know about Cleveland and Cincinnati and all that. But again, Mississippi is known for a whole state problem. So that's becoming very clear. Not to mention one of our viewers, a bomber and member, is from Ohio. He's a good guy, so we like him.
And
so
got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Football Hall of Fame. That's some good shit. All right, Oregon, Oregon.
Well, he
Ohio.
lives in Ohio. He's not from it. He lives
Ohio, number 4. That leaves us with Mississippi, California, and Florida. These are the 3 worst states in our opinion, and I think they're all rightfully so. All right, Brandon, which one you want to throw up for 3?
What is left?
Mississippi, California, and Florida.
Oh, it's got to be Mississippi.
I could get down on Mississippi. In my opinion, Mississippi or Cali would be my.
I was going to go Cali.
I feel like we've been tiptoeing Mississippi for a long time. I think I'm on the Mississippi train.
I would say just general hate for states is not any larger than for Florida and for California.
I agree.
That's fair.
Just personal hate, whether it's hating this political group or hating these people because they are frou-frou or hating these people because they're rednecks or whatever the case may be.
We got an Ohio. We started talking about Ohio. Ohio redneck enters the chat. It's a great state. It's the outsiders that ruin it. And it's kind of like we talked about in some other states. I think that's a very valid thing. And like I said, Zach's only been there as a child, more or less.
I've been there more recently than that.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Worst trauma came.
I agree with that statement so much. That's why we in the South, we like it. Just leave us alone. Look what y'all did to Florida.
Mississippi, the 3. Mississippi winning the bronze medal for the top 3 worst states, or 10 states. Mississippi, number 3. So that leaves California and Florida. I feel like both of these are winners as the worst states. For me, as much as I think this is going to be a little bit of a shocker, but as much as I think people shit on Florida, I think I would go Florida too.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a lot of stupid shit that happens there, but if I had to pick a state to live in, if I had to pick a state to raise a family and it came down to Cali or Florida, I would choose Florida. That's just me personally, but I'm an East Coast guy.
So you're saying Florida number 2?
I would say Florida number 2 in my opinion. Yes. Yeah. As the better of the 2.
See, I'm flip-flopped on that.
You'd rather live in Cali?
I'd rather live in California, yeah.
Okay.
Cost of living higher, taxes higher, no water.
Fires all the time. They have fires and no water. That's a bad combo.
Yeah, but there's
earthquakes. Nancy Pelosi.
I mean, Florida or California, eventually, I learned this shit in school, I'm pretty sure. It's going to break off one of these days, and it's going to be no more. Do you really want to be there?
So Florida, though, will be completely submerged once the ice caps melt.
400 square feet cost over $1,500 just to live in. That's a bedroom in the South.
Brandon, Cali, Florida, which one deserves to be 2, and which one is the worst state? I see you pondering over there.
The worst state has to be California. Florida has some of the craziest shit and people that live there and happen in the state. But California's got to be the worst state.
I'm not gonna lie, I've had some great times in Florida. Some very fucking fun times in Florida.
You can get rid of either one of them, really. We only need one Disney.
It's true.
That's true.
That's what I was gonna say. And I still
World
don't know
over
which
here
one's
and
where.
land over. World is in Florida, and it's the original one. And then California has Disneyland.
I would have flopped them. I would have done World West. In my brain, that's how it works. But either way,
East Coast is kind of the primary import, so that's probably why.
Yeah, I get you. All right, so I think we're 3-1. California as 2, or Florida as 2, and California is the worst state voted on by us, the crew. And here it is, right here. Number 1, worst state by the boys, California. Number 2, Florida. Number 3, Mississippi. Number 4, Ohio. Number 5, New York. Then Oregon. Number 6, 7, Connecticut. 8, New Jersey. 9, Indiana. 10, Texas. Texas, the best of the worst. California, the worst state. Viewers, let us know what you think. I think that's solid. I think if Toby was in there, it would have potentially thrown the chat off a little because he would have battled hard for Texas to be higher on that list. But I like what we did here.
I feel good about it.
I like
great.
it. I think it made it fun.
Jace is trying to say that I have to say it right. No, it's always going to be Florida for a reason. But no, I think that's good. We'll throw the final results in the Beard Laws community. We'll throw it on the socials, all that good stuff, fellas. Appreciate the hell out of you. This was fun. Next week, we're going to continue. Steve wants to see the list again. There you go. Here is the list again. Don't know why, but my light went out. So sorry, I got a little dark. Something random.
I think I just kicked it on accident.
I think so too, but it happens. So here's the list again: California, Florida, Mississippi, Ohio, New York, Oregon, Connecticut, New Jersey, Indiana, Texas. So this is what we got next week. We're going to continue to evolve this to hopefully make it fun for you. But I had a lot of fun here. We're going to come up with something new. Maybe we'll throw it on a wheel. We'll come up with a cool concept, and we'll do this again next week. If you guys are bored, stop by Tuesday. Triple T. Got Richie. You have Euban, myself, Toby, and we'll 4 of us, 5 of us. Who knows? Maybe 6 of us will be here next week. Probably not, but this was fun. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody taking some time out of their busy day to watch us. We'll be back next week. I got nothing else. You guys good?
We're good.
Check out Blackbeard Fire real quick. Forgot to throw that out there. It is on there. Just because I want to show off this cool lighter again. You can get this on there. It's an electric one with plasma. Boom.
Yep. And I would just like to point out for anybody that may pick up this lighter using promo code BeardLaws. Or is it BeardLaws 10? Is it BeardLaws or BeardLaws 10?
I don't know. Just go to blackbeardfire.com/BeardLaws. Use BeardLaws. The lighter is hot. I was thinking it was plasma.
That's what I was going to say.
I tried it on my finger thinking it wasn't as hot. It was really freaking hot. Don't do that. I'm an idiot.
Like I made the joke and I thought Matt, who's a very intelligent human being that I think very highly of, and he's like, yeah, don't touch it. I'm like, yeah, I know. I wasn't going. He's like, no, I did. And like, look at it. And he showed me. I'm like, wow, that's a burn. That's a pretty bad burn.
This wasn't good. All right. That's all I got. Appreciate you guys.